iOS 7 was released in 2013 and was a huge change for iOS in terms of looks and the way the OS functioned. It was pretty controversial when it came out, but why was it so controversial? Keep watching to find out. In order to find out why iOS 7 was so controversial, we need to go back to the day iOS 6 was released, June 11th, 2012. iOS 6 was a very minor OS upgrade coming from iOS 5, but one big thing that was changed was a few apps were replaced or erased entirely. For example, YouTube was removed, but the major one was Google Maps. The reason for these apps being removed was that a contract between Apple and Google had expired and never got renewed. Since Google Maps was removed, that meant Apple had to design its own Maps app. Scott Forstall was the Senior Vice President of iPhone software, which means he was the designer behind iOS from iPhone OS 1.0 to iOS 6. Steve Jobs died in October of the previous year, but before he died, he appointed Tim Cook to be the new CEO of Apple. When iOS 6 came out, Scott Forstall had to make a new Maps app for the iPhone, which had a lot of issues including incorrect route mapping, weird artifacts when looking in 3D mode, and many more. Tim Cook decided to release a public apology for all of the issues, which read, "At Apple, we strive to make world-class products that deliver the best experience possible to our customers. With the launch of our new maps last week, we fell short on this commitment. We are extremely sorry for the frustration that this has caused our customers. We are doing everything we can to make maps better." Signed, Tim Cook. Now you may be wondering, why was Tim Cook writing a letter if it was all Scott Forstall's fault for all the issues? Well, it turns out Tim Cook asked Forstall to sign the letter, but Forstall said the Maps app wasn't Apple's fault, and then compared the issue to AntennaGate, which affected the iPhone 4 back in 2010. Steve Jobs had a presentation in which he claimed AntennaGate was not unique to the iPhone 4. On October 29, 2012, Apple announced in a press release that Scott Forstall would be departing. Now with Scott Forstall out, Apple needed a new person to lead design on iOS. Would Apple hire from outside the company or promote someone from within? The answer was actually neither. What Apple did was gave Johnny Ive the job. Johnny Ive was the designer of the iPhone, the iPad, and many more. Johnny Ive was not a fan of the skeuomorphic design of iOS. He was into flat designs. He didn't think iOS really complemented the product's designs. So when iOS 7 was released, everyone was in for a big surprise. Since iOS 7 had a flat design, Apple needed something to define layers, so they came up with the idea for the parallax effect. Some criticized it and said it made them motion sick. With a flat design came flat icons. Some said the icons were too simple, and there's a video of a guy recreating the iOS 7 icons in Microsoft Paint. The real reason there was so much hate towards iOS 7 wasn't because of all the design changes or the icons, but what it actually represented. It represented Scott Forstall's departure and Johnny Ive's new power at Apple. And most people disagreed with Forstall being let go. But eventually, when iOS 7 was available for download, the criticism died down, and people either liked it or learned to like it. And the people who still hated it probably switched to Android. I hope you guys enjoyed this look back into the iOS 7 controversy. Come like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Bye!